Judgment comes from unworthiness. Where does unworthiness come from? If you're not clear on where unworthiness come from, you will be judging your mama, you will be judging your daddy, you will be judging your neighborhood, you will be judging the fact that your left leg is longer than your right leg. You'll be judging the fact that your hair is long or your hair is short. You'll be judging the fact if your hair is bald headed, if you got nappy hair, wavy hair. You'll be judging all of these things. And one thing can be true and another thing could be false. But you never gonna get nowhere trying to figure out what is the mundane reason for your unworthiness. Unworthiness is very simply you are a human being and your job is to connect with your soul. When you connect with your soul, and I know this from personal experience, all worthiness is there. That's where you get your worth from. The more that you actually deal with your soul and create value through the relationship with your soul, because it's one thing to deal with your soul and just be like, yeah, I'll be dealing with my soul, but I'll be going to work and I'll be scratching my ass and nothing changing in my life. I ain't even, like, my soul ain't even giving me no bright ideas. No, we ain't talking about that shit. Worth comes from dealing with the soul, finding intrinsic intuitive value, and then providing it to your community. We get so confused when we judge ourselves versus other people, what they got going on versus what you got going on. And people be up, people be down, people be on their way up, people be on their way down. We never know. So, as much as you could have worth in reference to what other people have versus what you have, what you don't got versus what another person got, you can do that all day. You could drive around no matter where you live at. You could go to the suburbs and you can drive to every house and you can say, this person got a house that I don't got. This person got a house that I don't got. This person got a car that I don't got. Let me judge that. And you could do that. Or you can understand that true judgment comes from connecting to the soul. True consciousness is recognizing that you have an ability within you that can communicate to you clearly and tell you exactly what you need to do. These people are not your masters. These people are not your leaders. These people are not your guides. Even if they want to be. A person could really want to lead you and guide you. You could really want to be led. You could really want to be guided. But until you find that within yourself, you will be going the wrong direction. Sometimes we can look at other people, for better or for worse, and say, that person is better than me. And really feel that. Because they got this, that, and that going on, and they're doing better than me. Or we can look at the homeless person who's just an illusion, just a figment of your imagination, and say, well, at least I'm doing better than him. All of these are false concepts. Because as long as you keep that energy up, you're not even recognizing that people. All right, let's do the double slit experiment. The double slit experiment says that when you observe a reality, it responds a different way. Like right now, I'm looking at a river and ducks. And the fact that I'm looking at the river and ducks, they're going to create a different type of wave that bounces off of my eyes because our eyes are a later invention in reference to what we see, because our brain has a occipital lobe that could generally show us whatever it wants to show us because we're not looking at the world. We're looking, we're receiving images in our brain, and our brain is computing what it is that we're seeing. All of this to say, whatever you're seeing externally is illusionary. Whatever you're feeling, so if the first level is what you're seeing is illusionary, then whatever you're feeling about something that is illusionary is illusionary. So like, I really love Superman. Well, Superman don't really exist. He's just a concept. He's just a metaphor. It's just a character that's been created. But then you like, well, Superman don't exist, but my Aunt Rita exists, and I hate that bitch. No, Rita and Superman is the same energy. Just metaphysical concepts that exist within you, however you perceive them. Because you can hate Rita, but when Rita go into the nail shop, she their favorite bitch because she learned some Taiwanese. And she communicates to them in a way that they like. So according to the nail ladies, they'll kill you over Aunt Rita. And they don't like you. See how weird it get when you start judging people in reference to having a real connection and a sincere connection with your soul above all things. How we feel and our soul are two different qualities. Our feelings are based upon judgment. Sometimes you have a favorable judgment. Sometimes you have an unfavorable judgment. But this, unless you are aware, this is where we get inner work gets conflated and it just gets thrown out there now. I heard somebody say inner work, um, whatever. But when you're doing inner work, you're really trying to figure out, okay, these are my emotions. This is my soul. Because until you turn your sight inward, you're never fully keen on the difference. And usually, if you never do this work, you're very emotional. You're very emotional, and you think your emotions are so very valid and so very real. Your emotions cannot be real because your emotions have been carried with you since you were an infant. So the basis of crying and being emotional is because you want milk. The reality of your grown ass now is that you can get milk now. You don't have to cry for it. You can just go to the store and get you some vitamin D milk and drink it out the jug. But if you don't awaken and develop and evolve, then that emotional structure, that emotional basis is still in place. So when you don't get things that you want, you are negatively emotionally affected. But the more mature you get, you realize that you could have always made changes towards the things that you absolutely wanted. And the times that you spent feeling bad, feeling negative, was wasted time. So when you're serious about your inner work, you're looking at your emotions, you're examining your emotions, and like the kids, they really fuck up the car, right? They fuck up the car. And sometimes I have the energy to clean up, sometimes I don't. But today I was faced with that dilemma. Should I clean up the car or shouldn't? And the thought that was funny to me was like, imagine if you just looked at this shit and said, I don't feel like cleaning it. Like that shit was just really crazy. And it was like, oh, the soul has a whole different spin on it. Like emotionally, you can say, I don't feel like doing it. Emotionally, you can say, I don't like this person. Like the soul is telling you, do this, improve this, better this situation, clean this shit up, right? The emotions is saying, I don't feel like it don't matter, I'll get to it later, I got other shit that I need to do. But when you actually, from my personal experience, when you actually are interfacing with the soul is like really laughing. So like the soul is like, you really going to not work out today and you fat as fuck? You serious? Like, so my decision making is much more of like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you not gonna clean up? Like, are you not gonna work out? Like, are you not going to do the wise thing? And it's like I'm understanding the voice of the soul. And usually how I differentiate it, woe is me, emotional, sad Kyrie, can't get right, versus you are 150% responsible for your failures. Now, you could look at life and be lazy, or you could just get up and do it. Now, when I say a bunch of words, it does feel good, but I also don't like saying a bunch of words and people not knowing what I'm talking about. So, since there is no like visual aid, are y'all following me with judging yourself, applying yourself versus being emotional, being lazy, and letting life pass you by? And then the kicker is the judgment, which, if you're an advanced human being, you can never judge yourself, so you judge everybody around you. If that makes sense. Ones, see, when you deal with the soul, you don't really got time to judge people because you really like, damn, I got a lot of work that I need to do for self, so I could point the fingers over here at them, or I could really get into the me work. Yeah, I just want to make sure y'all following me, because that's very important. So to me, anyways, when I go live, I really try. Like before I go live, I'm thinking, can this help somebody? Right? Can a person understand what I'm about to say? Because it's easy to go live and look halfway decent and just say shit. And I have a personal pet peeve about that type shit. And y'all know that by now. But anyway, so one of the major key things to activating your chakras is relaxation. And relaxation is something that you can't buy. It's something that you have to really work towards. And for a lot of people, it's not an important priority to just simply relax. So when you say, well, I'm not going to relax, I'm high key, I'm high strung, I'm like this. And then my thing is, well, you are in fight or flight. And when you're in fight or flight, you're not in a solution based optimal existence. So let's bring it to regular terms. You go on a date with a young lady or a young man and they're in fight or flight. That's how they viewing the situation. Even if they had a bad day at work, that's their energy. That's their inner inner chi, inner chi, energy. And if people, no matter what a person look like, right? No matter what a person is saying, how they respond to stresses usually work can tell you a lot about their chakras, can tell you a lot about how they're going to relate to you. Because I know, like, you can either be a person that when I enter a person's life, I'm going to be nothing but heaven and all of this, or you can be like, I'm going to bring some shit with me. So a person should have some conflict resolution, because if I just say something and they feel like fight or flight, that's going to be the everyday experience in a relationship with me. However, I personally think that is normal to resolve conflicts. I don't think that conflicts is a result, that conflicts result into leaving people. I think that conflicts are opportunities to get closer, to develop more trust, and to develop more bonds. But when you're on the surface or not doing inner work and you have a conflict, and usually a conflict is tied up in a judgment, let's not be confused. I judge that this situation should go this way. And as a law, self ruler judge over my reality, when you do not comply to my rulings, I banish you from my reality. And these is how these hoes is giving it up. They will cut you off, okay? They will block you. They will ignore you. And when I say hoes, people think I'm talking about women, but usually the I know some very powerful. When I'm speaking about women, I usually say goddesses. When I'm speaking about bitch ass niggas, I usually say bitches and hoes. So ladies, don't take offense when I say bitches or I say hoes. I'm definitely not talking about y'all. I'm talking about these bitch ass niggas who waste your time. Anyways, emotional and vital bodies are our sacral and our solar plexus chakras. So our emotional and our, like when you love somebody, right? Ladies, fellas, when you love somebody, girl, I love you, you ultimately saying, I want to fuck you very hard, real bad at the same time. So emotions, love, sex, sacral, sacred. Let's do that again. Sacred, sacral, sex, emotion, love. Same thing. If you are fight or flight, you don't know shit about it. You can trauma bond. You can trauma bond and have a baby the same way as you could be resolving conflict, initiating happiness, planning picnics, really happy with yourself. So you want to share this happiness with the person in front of you. In your parasympathetic system, completely relaxed. And not because, this is the kicker, because he protects and provides for you. Completely relaxed because you've gotten rid of all sense of unworthiness. Where does unworthiness come from, Hood? Does it come from the fact that I don't have a man to protect and provide for me? No, sis. Unworthiness comes from being connected to your soul to the point that you are creatively finding the codes and keys rather, the detailed files, the blueprints, the schematics, the plans, the products, the goods, the services, the new sexual positions that you want to put on your OnlyFans. You ain't never seen no shit like this. I could flip my eyeballs with my toes. I bet you would want to see that. My soul showed me that. I flip my eyeballs inside out with my toes, fellas. Follow my OnlyFans. Most flexible girl on the internet. Judgments of unworthiness are based on the belief of separateness. Judgment, all feelings of superiority, all feelings of the white man is against us, all feelings of men hate us, all feelings of women hate us. No, women hate you. But anyways, all feelings of persecution, all feelings of oppression, all feelings of victimization come from one simple fact: being separate from your soul. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. If it makes sense, put a 1. If it sounds unbelievable, put it 2. I personally will put it 2. Cause that's hard. That's hard for me to wrap my mind around as I read it. It makes sense, but goddamn, I was trying to justify how the white man was against me for 20 years. I was trying to justify how women hated men, which is why I was so unsuccessful in life. I was trying to figure out why I grew up in a single parent household. Of course, that's why I'm suffering. No, 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 no. You went to an inner city public school. Umar Johnson said, school to prison pipeline. Of course, Eureka. Only to find out none of that shit was true. I needed to connect to my soul. Okay, why are people angry? Why do people act weird? Why, for no reason, when I'm loving this person, I'm giving them all my good loving, this person is trying to intentionally hurt me. It's a very beautiful environment, I must say. You ever love somebody? I don't know if this is weird. This might be weird. You ever love somebody and they hurt you and you don't understand why they hurt you? One's in the chat. You ever love somebody and they hurt you intentionally and you ain't crazy? They get angry at you. They throw shit at you. They get mad at you. And you like, well, damn, I love you. I sat here and went half on the rent with your ass. You on my goddamn, is my name, my kid's name, and your name on my goddamn Netflix. Right? You ever love somebody and they started attacking you and hurting you as if you didn't love them? If this has ever happened to you, maybe it's weird. If this has ever happened to you, what this goes to show you is you can't replace the soul. If you ever been married, marriage teaches you that above all things. You cannot love this person. This person cannot love you enough. This is also why people get divorced, because the illusion of, well, you're my husband, you should love me more. You my wife, you should love me more. When you're married, that person cannot love you enough. You really got to find another route to love when you married. Because you can't blame your partner all the time. Because at a certain point, you like, well, this is a good person. This person ain't doing me wrong. I'm obviously needing to take care of myself. That you can blame the relationship because the relationship is there, right? But really, what we're really trying to get to is the hurt that have you lashing out, or the anger towards somebody that you shouldn't even be angry at. Being mad at somebody who hurt you a long time ago and not healing that. This got you into fight or flight. Fight or flight, sympathetic system, block sacral chakra. Let's do this again. How we started off. Let's start it from the bottom. Now we here. Emotional, love, sex, sacred, sacral, same thing. So when we want to talk about the spiritual world and spiritual things, the reason why we can't grasp it and the reason why we can't get over it is because we're blocked at the sacral chakra, meaning that we haven't healed our sexual love, emotional quotient. And don't think, oh, I'm in a relationship. Sometimes relationships be trauma bonds. Sometimes relationships be fantasy bonds. Sometimes you in a relationship and you can't be honest in your relationship. Don't think that you have saved the day and saved the world because you went down to the courthouse or you had a ceremony and a ritual. At a certain level, you're gonna have to heal your own emotional pain. So you can get out of fight or flight. Get out of fight or flight, which is the sympathetic system, peaceful, and get into the parasympathetic system, which is relaxed. Relaxed. Because I'm relaxed, I'm also saying I trust my soul to guide and lead me. Society might say, well, you need to be stressed out and working this goddamn 80-hour work week with me. And I ain't going to say that is easy, but I will say it's necessary. So scientifically, when we're in fight or flight, we're producing cortisol nonstop. When we don't have to produce cortisol nonstop. And usually, after a long period of time, that cortisol creates diseases. That cortisol creates stress, fatigue, dehydration, depression, so forth and so on. And every day you live stressed out. What you're also saying is that the spiritual world don't really exist. Do y'all understand what I say when I say that? I'm not saying you stressed out because the light bill is due and you don't got enough money. That's a natural stress. I'm talking about you stress the fuck out every single day, all day, about what the fuck ever, right? Or emotionally reacting to shit all the time in a negative way, or even in a positive way, because that shit ain't real. You ain't really that fucking happy. So what are we also saying? I do not trust my soul to lead me and guide me. At a certain point, you have to trust your soul. And when I say trust your soul, you're going to have to trust your soul till it starts to produce creative things. And sometimes you got to work for yourself more than you work for white people. I wake up, I go to sleep, and I work for Kyrie. If I got to work 24 hours, and when I'm at where I be working at, like at an office space, I'm the only nigga there. Like, it's a lot of people that be at the office space. Like, I'll go there during the daytime. Niggas be there working, right? 5, 6, niggas be gone. My dumb ass still be there till 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Sending out emails, working on shit, right? But don't cry for me, Argentina. At the same time, this is what my soul is calling me to do. And yeah, I gotta fucking do a Skillshare course tonight. That's going to be 5 hours of my time that I gotta sit and take notes and learn that I could apply to my business. It ain't no manual to this shit. It ain't no rules. And usually when you're doing it by yourself, you're doing it wrong. So I've been more into the space of incorporating my wife, incorporating people in my life to help. Because yeah, doing shit alone is crazy. But enough with that. The act of judging others causes guilt to emerge from the subconscious nature, attack the emotional and vital bodies, and overcome them. So when you judge people, you are guilty. Does that make sense? You ever went to court? What do the judge say? Guilty or not guilty? So y'all understand how it connect to judgment. So once again, if I'm judging a person for living a better life than I'm living, I'm also saying, Kyrie, you're guilty as charged. I'm confining myself to the emotional prison of imaginary person is living better than me. So those negative feelings is doing a multitude of things. It's making me sicker, making me sadder, and keeping me stagnant. You ever went to court? The judge is going to say guilty or not guilty. So when you judge people or feel judged or look down upon people or look up at people, you're also assigning guilt. And since we're talking about the inner world, you can't assign guilt on nobody but your damn self. So when you guilty, where do you go? To jail. Why would you put your own self in jail? For no fucking reason. It's 8 billion souls on life. 8 billion different realities that a person could possibly live. And then it's over. So get over it. A guilt feeling also brings death in the spiritual sense. There are different opportunities and different segues. That's why I'm out in nature right now. Because sometimes you just got to give it up to the possibilities. I wanted to do a different video, and it's just now coming to me. I wanted to talk about how the sun is in sidereal Virgo and Mars is in sidereal Taurus. And so this time could be kind of weird because when you setting seeds, if you're a nigga who like to materialize and manifest, then you're not getting all of that you need right now, right? It's not, but naturally, you set seeds and you patient and you wait for them to evolve and grow. Shit, I put a play in about 4 months ago that's just now coming back into fruition. So think about that. Don't be so caught up in what's happening now. Think about what seed you can be placing for the future. And if you got to eat ramen noodles every fucking day, eat ramen noodles every day. Like don't count yourself out. And if you need to save money, save money. Like in this world, you can save money. You can find discounts, you can find deals. You can spend $20 a day. But once again, a guilt feeling also brings death in the spiritual sense. It extinguishes spiritual love. So when you confined emotionally, or let's bring it to realistic, when you in fight or flight and your sympathetic is saying, I'm either going to fight this bitch or I'm going to run away from this hoe. How are you going to, y'all show me how y'all can actually love a man. You in your sympathetic system, right? You fight or flight. You sit down and go on a date and you say, I will fight this nigga or I'm going to run from this nigga. Do you actually think that love can be created in these situations? Or do y'all be puzzled and confused as to why y'all can't find a relationship? You're in your sympathetic system. So you don't give yourself no options. Like, the crazy thing about relationships is that people can initiate happiness. Hey, let's go out to dinner. Hey, let's take a walk. Hey, let's have a conversation. Hey, let me do something nice for you. But when you in fight or flight so bad, like a person will say, do you want this man to leave you? Do you want this woman to leave you? No. But are you going to ignore them? Absolutely. What do you mean? He don't deserve nothing special. She don't deserve nothing special. She just a regular motherfucker. He just a regular motherfucker. Why should I treat this person special? Like, just because I'm in a relationship with him, you understand that sounds crazy, but it's normal in most relationships, because most relationships are sympathetic as far as the nervous system, fight or flight. Y'all gonna fight each other, or y'all gonna talk about, well, maybe I should leave. Well, get the fuck out then. Get the fuck out. No, fuck that. No. See, because I pay half on this rent. You ain't about to kick me out. This goddamn, hold on. Let me see the date. You ain't about to kick me. Oh, it's the 12th, bitch. See, it's the 12th. You trying to get your extra goddamn 18 days out of me. Fuck that. Look, I'm going to stay in my room. You going to stay in your room. We going to be roommates. Fight or flight. And I'm from the hood, so y'all might be from the suburbs and shit. So y'all know nothing of what I'm talking about. But in the hood, that's how motherfuckers get down, right? So I know y'all on the internet, y'all done moved to the suburbs, so y'all done read the 5 love languages and shit, right? Y'all done evolved and shit. But in the hood, it was nothing but fight or flight love. It was nothing but argue. When I was younger, get a good argument, good fuck session. I mean, it was so normal. Like, it wasn't even the point where, like, if you could, like, I'm going to tell you, in the hood, it was so fucked up that I knew a girl liked me because she acted angry. Like, she evoked some form of rage the first time we hooked up. Like, some form of disgust. Like, oh, this bitch liked me. Let me be persistent. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit was true. Because that rage and anger turned to love and fake passion. Fake passion because we was teenagers. If you in your 20s, man, that relationship ain't real. You might as well quit while you ahead. Ain't nobody tell me this when I was y'all age, so just giving y'all some vital information. And people in your life ain't gonna keep it real. So fuck that relationship in your 20s. People don't really start to see the value of relationships until they start to get in their 30s anyways. When you in your 20s and you look halfway decent, motherfuckers be playing around for no reason. Motherfuckers be hypergamous for no reason. You know, people be hurt for no reason. So you more or less gonna get into a situation where you're gonna be arguing and fighting more than you gonna be actually having love in your life. So what would be the main point of this conversation? When you have judgment on any fucking level, you are blocking out unconditional love. And it's very subtle. You might have to even ask yourself, why am I judging this person? Why do I think I actually don't know what be going on in people's heads. I could really just deal with myself. My judgment ain't the judgment where I'm looking down on people. At a certain level I do, but not really. Because I really be struggling for real. So it's hard for me to look down on people. My judgment is the judgment of myself. And so the reason I'm doing this video is because I might go into a rabbit hole of, because I was single mama, grew up in the ghetto, went to public school, got beat up in the lunchroom. I ain't get beat up in the lunchroom, but you know how it is. I had the same pair of shoes for 2 years in a row. That was crazy. That was really crazy. You don't know pain till you show up the first day of school with the same shoes you had on all summer and last year. It didn't go through the whole year with those same shoes on. That's real pain. I ain't go through that, but I imagine if you did go through that, that would be very painful. So trying to figure out this is why my life is so fucked up is an illusion. Why I personally feel the judgment of looking up, right? I'm not like, why I feel the judgment is because I still got more work to do with the soul work. So that's why I'm out in nature instead of going to a restaurant. Because I legit wanted to like go to a restaurant and get like 5, just like sometimes, bro, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I go to the restaurant and just get a bottle of wine and just drink that shit. But I ain't do that today. I came out into nature, did a video, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just thinking like maybe this could help somebody who is in this process of judging themselves and using that as fuel to further imprison yourself. That part is crazy to me as I'm reading through it, like I'm studying with y'all and I'm expressing my study. And that part is like, whoa, I'm confining myself to a false belief. And even worse, I'm not even doing the work to connect with my soul. I'm like stagnating that process. Like, hold up, soul. Let me feel sorry for myself real quick. Hold up, nigga. I know you want to give me unconditional love and guidance and wisdom and shit, but I need a couple days to feel sorry for myself, nigga. I want to be depressed, bitch. Back up. Like, that's crazy to me. I mean, I'm crazy. I ain't saying y'all crazy. I'm saying I'm crazy. So I'm going to end this video because it's more verses than I got time. Gotta go get some goddamn fettuccine Alfredo because these kids be hungry. And yeah, man, I just wanted to share. And so I shared. Peace.